All right. Our second nonprofit organization for the evening is the Montgomery County branch of the NAACP. They're a first-timer, but many of you know them well, and several of us are members. Northwood Surge, Standing Up for Racial Justice, has been working with them for the past 2 years to get us more involved in racial justice and locally associated social issues. Representing them tonight is Chapter President Carl White.
I can say that you all like to have fun down here. And that's what life is all about, having fun. Well, first of all, greeting to Northwood Unitarian Universalist Church. And I just want to thank you for all that you do within the community. You know, back in 2021, me and my wife went to Austin to the Poor People's Campaign, and the Universal Church was represented throughout the state of Texas. And it was just awesome just to see the different colored shirts that they had on, and it was awesome. And I also want to thank our brother Jerry for the invitation. I want to thank Brother David. We had a 1619 project for about 6 weeks, and David attended that project. I want to thank him. And I also want to say hello to my new friend Carl. We met today. Now, just a few minutes about the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I want to read you our new mission statement. They changed it a couple years ago, and it says to achieve equality, political rights, social inclusion by advancing policies and practices that expand human and civil rights, eliminate discrimination, and accelerate the well-being, education, and economic security of Black people and all persons of color. The NAACP is a non-partisan organization, and we believe that it's important that we work with people who share our commitment, but we also work with individuals who do not share our commitment, because it's important that we reach across the table. And we have always and will always work with anybody who wants to work with us. So how did the NAACP get started? You know, that's a question that everybody wants to know. Well, back in the year 1908, in Springfield, Illinois, there was a race riot. About 5,000 white citizens of that city attacked the Black residents, and they burned all the businesses. And that was the stirring point of the NAACP, you know, and they lynched them. And when I talk about that, I remember that they caught this sheriff on tape a couple of days talking about, I wish we could bring lynching back. You know, that's very disturbing, you know. So on February 12th, 1909, a group of individuals met together in a New York City hotel. And 115 years after the creation of the NAACP, racial tension still exists. You know, in this year's legislative session, you know, there are bills that we don't want to defund D&I, want to eliminate D&I, want to bring back segregated schools, and we will always fight against bills like that. So some of the founding members of the NAACP were mainly white and Jewish. The two Black individuals were Mr. Ida B. Wells and Mr. W.E.B. Du Bois. William Wallace, he was a prominent socialist and a journalist. Henry Makovich, he was a Romanian Jew. Mary Overton, she was a social worker and a freelance writer. And Oswald Garrett, he was the son of a railroad tycoon. Those were the founding members of the NAACP. You know, systematic racism has existed in the United States for many years, and racism never goes away, people. It just simply adapts. It never goes away, it just simply adapts. I'm thinking about some statements that were made years before, you know, like by Thomas Jefferson, and he believed that Black people were inferior to white people, and that the two races need to be separated. And also President Andrew Johnson made a statement, said this is a country for white men, and by God, as long as I'm the president, there'll be a country for white men. Statements like that was made. But because of that, the NAACP got busy. In 1917 was the first major victory for the NAACP. In the city of Louisville, Kentucky, they had ordinance, well, you could not sell houses to Black folks. So they fought that and they won. And also in 1948, they worked with President Truman, basically, signed Executive Order 9981, and that's what desegregated the United States Army. And we know all our landmark decision about Brown versus the Board of Education. So how are these victories won? There are over like 2,000 NAACP units throughout the United States, and they all work with various committees. And those committees include health, education, veterans, political action, economic development, environmental, financial. That's how the NAACP is so successful in doing the things we do. Our national president is Mr. Derrick Johnson, and he's headquartered in Baltimore, Maryland. And our state president, Mr. Gary Bledsoe, he's headquartered in Austin, Texas, everything. The NAACP is focused on the economic condition of all individuals, but with an emphasis on Black individuals, because it's Black America has been living in the other America. Martin Luther King said, in one America, millions of people have the milk of prosperity and the honey of equality flowing before them. But the other America, there's a daily ugliness about it that transforms and brews of hope into a fatigue of despair. That's why the NAACP is here, because we want to uplift everybody. Now, a little bit about the state of Texas, NAACP. The first Texas branch was in 1915 in El Paso, and they had about 7,000 members and 31 different branches. But in 1923, because of the Ku Klux Klan, they only had 5 branches of the NAACP. In 1956 here in Texas, the NAACP was closed down for a short time. They tell you that for tax evasion, but the real reason was the government wanted a list of all our members, and we would not give it to them. 2 years ago, in order for the NAACP to participate in some of these redistricting cases, we had to give up some of our members who lived in a county that would participate in that thing. So they're still trying to get that list. So really, and the way things are going on right now, we don't know what's happening, because they're really trying to get the list of all our members, because it's intimidation. And also, that's it. But anyway, the Montgomery County branch, we were started in 2010, and our first president was Mr. Joe Porter, and I became the president in 2014. Our 21st century strategic plan consists of civil and voting rights, education and excellence, economic development, and public health. We want to empower people to ensure that they have all the tools that they need to have what they call life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Some of Montgomery County, some of our projects that we did in the past, we held a prayer breakfast to honor all the pastors throughout the community. We had a voting awareness rally at Lone Star College. We hosted a job fair with Texas Department of Correction. We held a voting rights press conference on the courthouse steps. We had a financial seminar with Wells Fargo's bank. We were the first, in 2020, we were the first complete count committee in Montgomery County. And so we was able to give classes concerning the 2020 census. We work with people like the Woodland Pride, Human Rights Celebration. We got a good relationship with the sheriff and the police. Going forward, we just came from Austin, back April 4th, we just came from Austin, that we went and we talked to our senators and our state representatives and let them know the bills that we liked and the bills that we did not like. And also next Thursday, we're going to start what we call our quarterly speaker series. Prior to the pandemic, we would always have people at our meeting, whether it be law enforcement, lawyers, scientists, physicians. They would always come to our meeting just to educate the public. So we partner with the city of Conroe, and we have secured a place at least 3 more times this year to have our quarterly speaker series. And so our first one will be April the 27th, which is next Thursday at 7 o'clock. And we're going to have the Economic Development Chair, City of Conroe, just talking about economic development in the city of Conroe. So if you need something to do, I'll send an email with the invitation. And also coming up in June 17th, we partnered with First National Bank and the Conroe Lake Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to have another financial seminar. We're going to focus on youth 8 to 18 about finances, because I think it's so important that we start at a very, very young age, and 8 years old is a good age to start at. So that's coming up in June. And also we got an ongoing scholarship. Our goal was to give at least three $1,000 scholarships, and we've achieved that. So we will be giving three $1,000 scholarships, and our next goal now will be maybe in the next year, 4. And so we've achieved. We have a lot of people throughout the county that helps us, achieve these goals. So question is now, how can you help? Well, you can help, first of all, just by being a member and bringing ideas to the table. Because there's so much that needs to be done in this world that we live in. And the more ideas we have, because we have so many committees, there's nothing that you cannot do when you become a member of the NAACP. But one thing that we do not want is just people to have their name on the roll. We want people that want to get work. Because it's not so much about me. My life is made, like your life is made. But we have children coming up behind us. With some of these racial laws that they're going to make now, those children are going to come back into the year 1950. That's what's about to happen with some of these laws that are being. These children are going to grow up thinking it's okay to sit at the back of the bus, the colored and white water fountain, So we're fighting those things. So you can help us basically just get the word out, Get the word out. Let people know what's really going on. That, like I say, the Bible said we are all created equal, and God's how He's all the same. So we need to start living like that. Living like the Lord wants us to live. And He wants us to enjoy heaven right here on this earth. All people, it does not matter what color. So again, I just want to say thank you again. Thank you, Northwood, for just this opportunity. A lot of you I know. Again, Carl, it's good to meet you, sir. It's good to namesake again. So again, just thank you. And we have some information on the back there. And if I can be of service to anybody, just give me a call and I'll come. If I'm available, I'll come. Thank you.